JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, two in custody for murder of Manchester businesswoman. The police are reporting that two men were taken into custody today for the murder of 63-year-old Marcia Chinyu at her home in Ingleside, Manchester, yesterday. Earlier reports said Chinyu was last seen alive on Wednesday. The police said her neighbors found her seated in her motor car with multiple stab wounds around 8:30 p.m. The vehicle was found in the driveway of her Ingleside home. Chinyu's death was later confirmed at the hospital. The incident triggered shock and fear among residents. Custis of Manchester, Garfield Green, said that Chinyu contributed significantly to the growth of the business community in Mandeville for decades. It is sad, and for her to go out like this, it is just sad. Crime is just everywhere. There are no boundaries for crime right now. The criminals are very brazen, and they go for what they want without any regard or fear, and it is sad. While calling for quick action from the police, Green is also appealing to the business community to be on alert, as he says they are an easy target, particularly in the Christmas season. We handle cash, and sometimes we handle significant amounts of cash, and we take it for granted that we can move it by ourselves. At least one person will know you have cash on you, so put some security measures in place. Call the police if you don't have private security. President of the Manchester Chamber of Commerce, Kenisha Dwyer Powell, said the murders impacted business persons across the parish and that the association is renewing its call for new security measures to be put in place. To wake up to the news of Mrs. Chinyu's murder is very alarming. The business community has been really touched. We have seen over the past couple of weeks murders within the business community, and it is a cause for concern. We urge citizens everywhere to cooperate with the police, say what you know, and be in the lookout for your neighbors. Portmore woman attacked by dogs outside Green Bay Range. Just over 8 hours before legislators in the lower house passed the Dogs Liability for Attacks bill on November 17, a woman was attacked and bitten by a pack of the animals during her usual early morning run in Portmore, St. Catherine. The woman, who opted not to be named, received bites on both legs, resulting in her having to pay a doctor $34,500 for treatment and $8,000 to fill a prescription. The attack, she related, occurred about 6:30 a.m. on the road outside the Jamaica Defense Force, JDF, Green Bay Range. I usually walk with some elderly people who have been doing it for like 30 odd years, but normally when I get to the foot of the hill I run up, leaving them, she said on Wednesday, adding that she has been exercising on the hill for about 2 years. From ever since, there's always been this hole in the gate at the range, but the dogs never really run out. They have always been in there barking, she said. The woman said when she got near to the gate, the dogs ran out towards her. I was trying to chase them away by saying, "Go away, go away." I back up and fell, and that was it, Them pounced on me, she related. A fight, kick, a thump. You heard them come after me. One of them come up in my face and me go wham and lick him because me say me I go fight, the woman said. The force of the blow, she said, flung the dog off her, after which it started yelping. When me lick the dog and him fly off and start bawl, I saw the rest of them retreat, she said. One of the security come out and said, "Girl, you're a real fighter. If you never fight them, then would I maul you," the woman said. Asked if she knew the breed of the dogs that attacked her, she said she was not sure. 3 of them looked like mongrel, but there were 2 that were big, she said. When they were coming towards me, I said, "Jesus Christ, 5 dog." I was trying to back away from them to see if I could take up 2 stones, and then me drop, she said. She said after the ordeal, other early morning joggers came to her aid. She called her son, who drove up the hill to get her and take her home, as she was unable to walk. Me feel like me paralyzed because the bite them and burned me, she said, adding that when she got home and took off her jogging suit, she saw flesh dropping from the bleeding wounds. She went to a private doctor who treated and stitched the wounds, administered injections, and prescribed medicine. Now she's looking at taking legal action, adding that she shared her ordeal in order to alert other people who exercise in that area In fact, she said one of the women in her exercise group told her that the day after her encounter, the dogs attacked another woman. However, that woman was walking with a stick and was able to keep them away from her. The woman also said she reported the dog attack to the Bridgeport police. 17 amendments were made to the Dogs Liability for Attacks Bill, which provides for criminal and civil liability for an owner of a dog that attacks, injures, and/or causes the death of a person. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck, who piloted the bill, has emphasized that the legislation, once passed by the Senate, is to serve as a deterrent and is not intended to create a criminal record for dog owners. Commissioner vows crime crackdown. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson has vowed that every measure will be implemented to ensure that Jamaica's murder numbers do not continue to spike. Addressing a function at the Mount Salem Police Station in St. James earlier today, Anderson said it appears that there are some people who are trying to push the crime figures to where they were 3 years ago.
It will continue through the weekend and certainly till the end of the year, where we will surge. We will be focusing on this violence as people who are, it seems as though people want to carry us to conditions we had 3 years ago, which we will not allow. So our responses will be such that we do not get back there. And you will be seeing those responses within the places where gangs and gangsters have seemed to have decided to bring that fear to communities that have been living without fear for a while. We will not allow that. And so our operations over this weekend and to the end of the year and into next year will seek to address that. The other thing is that over this period, it's a high commercial period of commercial activity as we go into the Christmas. You will see additional deployments out in those commercial areas as we try to keep persons safe. One of the things that our public can do for us is, as you see things that seem out of place or not as they should, or people just report it to us, we can respond. The third thing is, of course, at this time is usually a heavy traffic management challenge, especially in the urban centers. I would ask people to exercise patience, not let frustration overcome you as you have to wait perhaps in lines. We will be out there managing the traffic in a very visible way. But what would help us is, again, people reporting to us on our platforms when something happens. We have had a significant uptick in our connectivity with our population. And I think together we have actually been stronger as we've moved ahead in a number of areas. I think we need to keep that going. It's an important part of everyone's security and safety. I think over this period, how we end will be significant with how we start next year. And certainly from the police perspective, that is our focus now, and we are seeking the assistance of the public as much as possible to assist us in that way. I think there's just from things like this, here, this police station being done, the work that was done in the zones has restored a measure of hope to people. Absolutely. And we must maintain that hope. We can't allow hope to give way to cynicism. That's right. And so we will do our part in that regard. So thank you for that little indulgence, Minister. I think it was important that I say that, and that the country is aware that we are not at all resiling from our position, and we will be pushing ahead in an even more substantial way, even if it's an unsustainable way, but we'll sustain it for as long as necessary to ensure we have a safe society and a safe Christmas. Thank you very much.
2 more COVID deaths, 59 new cases. 2 more people have died from COVID-19 in Jamaica, as 59 new cases of the virus were recorded in the country in the last 24 hours. The death toll now stands at 250, and the total number of confirmed cases at 10,600, of which 4,375 are active. The two people who died are a 74-year-old man from St. Catherine and a 62-year-old woman from Trelawney, the Ministry of Health and Wellness reported. Of the newly reported cases, there were 33 males and 25 females, with ages ranging from 4 to 78 years. The gender of one of the cases is still under investigation. St. Catherine recorded 21 of the new cases, while Kingston and St. Andrew recorded 14. St. Anne recorded 8. St. James recorded 5. Portland 4. And Trelawney 2. Clarendon, Hanover, St. Mary, and St. Thomas each recorded 1 case. The country also recorded 108 recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 5,829. Road repairs will cost at least $5.5 billion, says NAA. The National Works Agency, NAA, says it's not through tallying the damage to the island's main road network, but its best assessment at this time is that repairs will cost the state at least $5.5 billion. Half of the sum will go towards removing blockages and initial activities to make corridors drivable. Chief Executive Officer E.G. Hunter told the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee yesterday, "We're not pretending that we are reconstructing these roads, and we do acknowledge that the work that we are doing in the initial phase is of a temporary nature, designed largely to get people to move about. The question of the permanent solution is something that we'll have to tackle as we go along," he stated. The agency said in its submission, "Based on our field reports, the damage to the road network has been extensive and is expected to result in a significant repair bill to the state." The NAA gave notice that, given the continued inclement weather, the estimate may increase in coming days with further damage. It said the figure also does not include the funds that are needed to increase the resiliency of the network to prevent similar damage in the future. 206 roads island-wide were severely affected by various rain-related events such as landslides, mud flows, downed trees, washed-out bridges, and undermined roadways, the Works Agency reported. Hunter stressed that many of the impacted roads were not built with drains. Drainage has a very noticeable impact on the quality of the roads. If they have drains, the roads will last longer, he said, pointing to the 2013 report of a master drainage study that was done for the island. He said the bill at the time was about $1 billion. So if the country wants to make serious inroads with the drainage situation in most of our towns, it's a sizable expenditure, he said. Hunter also said that over the years, no serious advances have been made in relocating towns and infrastructure, which are built near shorelines, making them continuously exposed to the ravages of nature. However, he said deliberate plans are now being made for the South Coast Highway, for example, to move the infrastructure inward. This has come out of a recognition that the current location of these towns and roads make them very susceptible. What you want to do is build good roads, maintain the roads, and you also want to make the roads climate-proof, and to a large extent that requires significant relocation, he explained. He said 4 roads remain impassable, including the Gordon Town Main Road, for which a bypass is being constructed. The corridor was one of several in the constituency of St. Andrew East Rural that were badly damaged during the recent heavy rains. We confess that this is not necessarily the most convenient bypass, but it is the only option we have at this point in time, Hunter said. The Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, has estimated repairs to 57 damaged farm roads at $139 million. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.